If you want to see me create my first look using the Sand Haze palette by Huda Beauty, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène and welcome back, or if it's your first time, welcome to HMM Makeup or Makeup. It has been a while. I have swatched this palette quite a while ago, the Sand Haze palette by Huda Beauty. I am finally ready to do my first impressions of this palette. And if you are not familiar, it does come in a clear plastic box. And so the color of the box is based on what is inside, which is the palette. Now this is out of the Khaki Haze, the Sand Haze, and the Purple Haze. The Sand Haze is definitely the most neutral of them all. And so I decided to prepare my canvas, so to speak, my face, in preparation for this color story. And I thought that I would walk you through what is on my face, which I don't normally do, but if you have watched my no-buy update and my empties update, I have talked about it in both videos. I'll just put them here, just scrolling through. I am focusing a lot on samples this year. This year is a no-buy, and going through samples is a way to have some novelty in my collection without going out and purchasing anything. So I'm using a lot of my favorites, a lot of things that I have bottoms of that I should just really get out of my beauty room. But the samples are really what is keeping things fresh and keeping me learning and discovering throughout this year. I have a shoebox full of samples, and so right now my empties, it's funny because I'm going through a bunch of samples talking about them, but I can also do mini reviews, which is kind of nice. So I want to tell you what is on my face right now before we get into the eye look. So for the really basic stuff, what is on my eyes so far? I have my Pan That palette that's been going on since late 2018, I think. I am using, I don't know if you can see, I have little crumbles of basic kind of dark beige eyeshadow in a couple of the pans. That is what I'm using as kind of a shadow primer for this look. And I'm also using this guy right here in my brows. This is the Blackberry shade. It's pretty slim, but it was in the corners of the pan and I just kind of brought everything into the center. And that's what I have in my brows. And in my brows as well, I have the ABH Clear Brow Gel. It's a mini, it's the last little bit of ABH I have left. And to make my upper lash lash waterline, I am using the waterline liner in, I think it's Legend, yeah, Legend, on the upper, and it does transfer a little bit below. But it gives my eyes pop even though I don't have all that much eyeshadow on right now. So I really like the waterline liners from Urban Decay. When I don't have this one at the ready, I do use Zero, which is just a regular liner. And Zero works pretty well. It's not as good as the waterline liners, but it's pretty good. What else am I missing? Oh yeah, I've got some powders that you should know about. So first off, what is underneath? I do have a couple of skincare samples that I use, but let's just focus on makeup today. I used one of these, so I had two of these. This is the Happy, come on, I hit my camera. The Happy, Hello Happy I should say, from Benefit in number 3. It is the deepest of the 3 in the package that I received. I have number 1, 2, and 3. I've got a total of 6 of these samples. I used one of these this morning. That is the base that I have on. I think number 2 is the proper shade for me, but number 3 worked just fine. I just kind of sheared it out, and I have the packet that I did open of this that looks just like this. I used about half. So just to give you an idea, a sample like this would last up to 2 uses, assuming you have a shade that works for you. So that's what I have as a base. And then you'll see quite a bit of wear on this. I'll just take the plastic off. I was just protecting it with the plastic back on. you will see 3 powder spots, 3 powder samples here from Charlotte Tilbury, and I've used, you can see that I used these 2 quite a bit. I used this one kind of as a bronzer and this one as a just an all-over powder to set my foundation. And the one that I haven't used a whole lot, but I think I'm going to use as a brow bone highlight of sorts, is this number 1. But number 2 and number 3 I really enjoyed, and I have 2 of these, so I'll probably be able to use the Charlotte Tilbury powder for probably a total of 4 applications, which I'm pretty happy about. They're not that easy to pick up off the sample, but in a way it's not a bad thing because you just build up the product. But it lasted, I've had this makeup on all day, and it lasted pretty well. I'm pretty happy. The only thing I didn't have done today on my face yet was my eyebrows, which I did before coming on the camera, because without brows done, the makeup look kind of ends up looking funny. So I am very, very happy with this, and it does have a protector that goes back on, which I'm pretty happy about. So it stays kind of sticky, and you're able to protect the powder that you're using in the sample, so that's pretty good. Like I said, I have 2 of these 3 powder samples, and I'm really happy about that sample pack. And same goes for this guy. I have the Tarte blush. It's the Amazonian Clay blush, and it is in, I thought it was just double checking. It's in Exposed, which is one of their or the most popular color in Tarte blushes, and that is what I have on my cheeks today. And I also used this Tarteist Pro Glow highlighter. You will see it on the high points of my cheeks, and I really enjoy this a lot. And I believe that's a full size, by the way, because it takes so little that what looks like a sample will last, I'm going to say years possibly, depending on your frequency of usage. It's crazy. It takes a pinhead of product to just tap along the cheekbone. It's crazy. I also used a sample of the Benefit Boing Industrial Strength Concealer. It's just a tiny, tiny container. And I put that around my nose, and it works super well. So I'm using a lot of samples. One thing that I will say, and this is a mini from Clinique. Might as well show you that one as well. So it was a mini of the Blush Pop 01 lipstick, and I'm really enjoying it. And I've used quite a bit. You would not believe, but inside, do you see how far down it goes? This container stores a lot of lipstick. I've used about a third of it already. There's a lot of lipstick in this tiny thing. That's crazy. And this was a sample. This came to me for free. It was amazing. And since we're on samples, I'm just going to show you what it is that I'm intending to use for mascara, and it's, surprise, surprise, a sample. I have this Gucci Mascara L'Obscur in Eve Black number 1. And it's a whole lot of mascara at 1 ml. We'll see how it goes. I don't even know what the brush looks like. Let's just take a look. So I'm just unscrewing it here. Oh! It looks like the brush that would come with the overall full mascara size. I'm looking forward to trying that. All right. After all of that, let's get back to the palette. Now I'm looking at it, and I think that I'm going to go with the browns and golds. I think that that's what I'm in the mood for. So I'm thinking of this one, and a little bit of an assortment of what's going on over here. So this one, and 1 or 2 of these kind of, I would say for sure this one is metallic, and I would say at least these are satins, but it's hard to tell just in the pan. And I'm not going to go back and take a look at the swatches video. We'll sort it out right here, right now. So I have a bit of a beige base, and what is on my brow, by the way, because I had more than I needed from the highlighter on my cheekbone. I put that same Tarte Pro Glow highlighter on my brow bone, so those are already done. Okay, I said I was going to stop talking, right? Haha. Okay, I'm going to go in with this. Going to go in with this in the crease because I already have beige eyeshadow on. And I'm going to use the same brush as I used for the beige eyeshadow. I think that'll work fine. Going right into this color right here. And I don't have a legend for the names, which is fine. There might not be names. Okay, so I dipped my brush in and just tapped off. And I'm going right into the crease. I'll do one eye and do the other eye off camera to save you some time. That's my usual mode of operation because I don't like wasting people's time if something is repetitive. I don't see why I would do that. Now with my eye shape, I tend to go in with the same color that goes in the crease on the very, very inner brow. Now it seems to look good for me. I'm sure it's not everybody's cup of tea, but it works for me. I'm just going to dip in one last time to just pick up the kick up and just deepen up the crease just a little bit. Okay, that looks pretty good. And I'm not looking to do a dramatic look. I do many of those on my channel. I'm just looking to see what I can build. I already have a strong color top, and I'm just trying to balance it with a nice eye, but without going too colorful. Next, I'm going to use this angled brush from Sephora, going in to the same shadow, just on one side of the brush, and I'm just going to bring it down. That is a trick I use on a regular basis, and I really like it. And with the angled brush, you can just twist the head of the brush in different ways and have it apply more wide or narrow, depending on what I'm trying to do on the lower lid. So far, that looks pretty good in my opinion. And I'm going to go with the deeper color now, the chocolate brown that is up here. I'm going to deepen the outer lid, outer crease. And I'm going to use my full coverage shadow brush. It's getting harder to read. It's starting to, the writing is starting to fade on it. I'd better memorize it. And the chocolate brown has a little bit of a reddish tint to it, which means it's going to really play nice with that more medium brown, which is really nice. The complement of browns in here is, they look like they would work really well together, so I'm happy about that. Just going to pick up some more of that deeper brown. They just seem to just meld right into each other. It looks like a really beginner-friendly palette, which is not a bad thing. Okay, and now, based on what I'm seeing, I'm really tempted to take that same eyeshadow and bring it along the lower lash line. So again, I'm in that deep chocolate on the top of the palette, and I'm going all the way along the lower lash line because it's just looking so good. I like this. It's like a neutral smoky eye. That's really pretty. Okay, I'm happy with that. The only thing I think is I'm going to go back into this dense brush, full coverage brush, and just try to see if I can get the color to be a little deeper. I'm okay with it. I think I like it enough that I'm going to go all the way in and I'm going to do a halo eye, and I don't usually do that. But I'm feeling it today. I'm actually going to go back into this very precision brush and just try to cut the crease with the precision brush so that I have placement the way I want, and that way it's going to be consistent, and it'll be easier to define the eye. Not what I was expecting to do, but that's the great part about first impressions. Sometimes you don't know how it's going to turn out for a good reason. Lots of concentration going on right now. Okay, so I think I've defined the area. Now I'm going to go back in with the dense brush and just fill it in, so to speak. I rarely do this, but I like it. I like it with this one. Because it's so neutral, you can kind of get away with a lot more. And I think I'm just going to deepen up the center here, just to make sure it's really clear that it's one eyeshadow. And now I'm just going to swatch two shadows, because I don't think I want to do gold. I'm going to swatch these two shadows as a reminder what they look like, because I don't think, do I want to use the burgundy? The burgundy would look good, wouldn't it, with what I'm wearing, I think. Oh, let's go with the burgundy. It'll look good. So let's go with this one. And I'm going to just put it on the center lid. I think that's going to look good. So this is the color. Let's give it a go. Oh, it's so subtle. But that's great. It looks really good. And I'm such a sucker for very light inner lid looks, and I'm absolutely going in a different direction today, which is great. There we go, a little pop of red right in the middle. I like it. I really like it. I think it's quite nice. I've got a little fallout going on, but overall the eye look is what we're focusing on, and I think it looks good. Yeah, I like it. I really, really do. Okay, so I'm going to use my trusty brush, which is an angled powder brush, I think it is. Yeah, angled powder. I'm just going to get rid of the fallout. And I am ready to do liner on this eye. I don't think I need any more eyeshadow, so let's just do the liner. And this is the liner pen that I'm going to use, which is the Estee Lauder little black liner. It's the biggest liner I've ever seen, but it's the little black liner, go figure. I say that every time I use it, because every time I'm so shocked at how big it is. But let's do this. I'm really enjoying this a lot. Okay. And since we are working on that eye, I'm going to take out that Gucci mascara and we will try it. The Royal We. So far so good. Let's see. It feels like it's tugging at my lashes for some reason. I don't know if that's a feature of the brush, but it feels very hard as a brush. And it doesn't feel like definitely not a super voluminous mascara by any stretch. I'm a little scared of poking my eye with it. It's a very different sensation from my usual mascara brushes. And yes, I blink as I apply mascara. So that is one coat, and off camera, as I'm doing the other eye, I will end up doing a second coat with this mascara. Seems to ball a little bit on the ends of my lashes. I'm not sure about this, but anyway, that's one coat. One coat-ish, 1.5 coats maybe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replicate this eye on the other side, and I'll be right back. Okay, I am back, and this is way different of a look than I was expecting to do. I ended up with a kind of a smoky halo eye, and I am loving it. And it's kind of in the chocolatey burgundy colors. Again, I did not expect that this is what I was going to do for my first impressions. But sometimes the colors speak to you and you just have to go with it. And I'm really enjoying the defined cut of the lid, how the lid is defined, and the fact that it's a very deep lid throughout. I'm just really enjoying it, and it's not a look I tend to do. So I'm just going to clean up the palette here. I am a fan. I am a fan. So I used these. This was the primary, the one in the crease and outer lid and outer lower lash line. This was what I used to deepen the shadow look. And this guy is the one that I put on the center lid. And I really didn't use the light colors at all because I had a brow bone highlight already. You could call that cheating maybe. But holy cow! This was just, you know what? It was almost effortless. Like there was nothing that I did that was problematic. I switched gears, I guess, early on, and I could see this for an evening look as a look I could just whip up in 5 minutes, at least the shadow part of the look, and look like I've spent 20 minutes. It was really effortless. The Huda Beauty formula for eyeshadow is pretty good. Every Huda Beauty palette that I've used so far, it's pretty user-friendly, I would say. Especially a palette with this kind of color story is very beginner-friendly, and there are a number. Does not have to be this palette. There are a number of palettes from Huda Beauty, 9-pan palettes that are very approachable, whether it's the Haze line or the Jewel line that had ruby and amethyst, and any of those. If it's a 9-pan, it is curated really well, and it also usually means that most shadows play well with all the other shadows in the palette. That's part of why I'm a big fan of small palettes, because they have to be really careful to have groupings of colors that are going to work together in that small pan, and that it can't be too restrictive because you already have few shadows to work with. So I think the curation on smaller palettes tends to be better because you're supposed to be able to do a look with one palette, right? You're not supposed to have to go to another palette to be satisfied with basic requirements of an eye look. So I'm really happy with this. I didn't think I was going to like it all that much because I thought, it's pretty neutral, nothing fancy about it. But boy, hello, I'm really liking it. Okay, so that is a win. I'm very happy with this palette for this first impressions. Let's talk about the other tools that I used so far. I talked about the waterline pencil from Urban Decay called Legend. I did apply it very early on in the process. I do tend to like it. I think it defines the eye quite well. The little black liner from Estee Lauder, I think it's average. I don't think it's great. Does it do the job? Yeah. Is it my favorite? No. If I want to give you a favorite, I would say the Fly Liner by Fenty Beauty is amazing. I really like it, and I like the Stila Stale Day, and I also like the KVD Tattoo Liner. Those are the ones that I tend to really like. If I'm supposed to recommend a liner to someone, those would be my options. For a brush liner that isn't that has a wand that you dip in, I would say that the ABH liquid liner is one that I do reach for pretty regularly as well. So there you go. That's my little mini review of those things. And now let's talk about Gucci and the Mascara L'Obscur. No. I did a minimum of 3 coats. I guess you could say I'm a volume girl, and it's just not, I sort of kind of, let me just get close. I sort of kind of managed to get somewhat of a volume look from it, but the amount of effort and the stiffness of the brush and bristles, I'm not a big fan of plastic bristle brushes. If you are, you may love this, but I just found it was too much effort. Will I use it? Will I finish it up? Sure. I mean, it's a sample mascara. Why wouldn't I use it up? But it's going to be from a utilitarian perspective of I'm putting on mascara today, not a I am reaching for this because it's going to give me va 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 voom lashes. No, that was too much work to get to va 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 voom. It was at least, oh man, it was for sure 3 coats per side. For sure. And that's just too much work for me. I don't appreciate it at all. I think that's it. I talked about my lipstick at the beginning. I'm good. This is the look. I talked about all the samples I used. I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. I might actually film another video because I'm feeling pretty good. And that's it. That's all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed the look. Let me know what it is that you think really worked as far as products that I went through, as far as what I used on my face. I would love to hear. What do you think of this look? And do you have requests for some other shadows in here? If you have this palette, let me know what you like. So I would say that this is number 1. So 1 to 3, 4 to 6, 7 to 9. If there are some combos that you're curious about. I'm going to stop it right there. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it every single time. If you have not yet done so and you are interested, you like this channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. And that's it. Let me know what you think, and we'll go from there. But for now, take care.